What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Vincent Esposito, and today we are going to be asking the century-old question, is a calorie a calorie? But before we get to that, if you've listened to this channel before, please like and subscribe. I'm coming out with videos twice a week on everything from health, nutrition, longevity, lifestyle. So if you're interested in any topics on that, please stick around. We're coming out with videos twice a week and appreciate your support. So no doubt you've heard it if you've tried to lose weight before in your life, that if you eat less and exercise more, there's no doubt you're gonna lose weight. And this has been something that's been treaded out there for over 100 years, and it's been done by all health professionals, doctors, dieters of all types, and they all come up with this same advice. The more you work out and the less you eat, you're guaranteed to lose weight. So on face value, the statement a calorie is a calorie actually does have some truth to it. It's based on the old laws of thermodynamics, meaning a calorie in equals a calorie out, but it's all based on lab studies that were done using a bomb calorimeter, which is a device where you would say put a piece of food into that device, it would burn it, and it would measure how much energy you would need to break it down. Now, using this device, a calorie was measured as the amount of energy needed to raise 1 kilogram of water 1 degree Celsius. So that is actually the definition of what today is known as a calorie. And this is the basis for what many health pundits and gym gurus have used for 100 years for people to lose weight. So say if I cut my calories from 2,200 calories to say 1,700 per day, you would lose 3,500 calories a week and ultimately a pound that week. And it's a foolproof process that you will continue to lose weight if you eat at that rate. To take this a step further, lifestyle, genetic, epigenetic, and environmental factors are also playing roles in the calorie question. Now, to further dispel the myth that a calorie is a calorie, take a look at a study that was done on 42 monkeys that were broken up into 2 different groups and fed the same number of calories, each of which containing 17% calories from fat. The difference was one was fed trans fats and the other was not. Now, if you're using the calorie in, calorie out method, there would be no difference in weight gain or health overall, but that is not what happened in this study. So what did happen was the monkeys fed the trans fats had worse lipid profiles and worse cardiovascular health over the period of the study. Additionally, they accumulated 3 times more visceral fat that's harmful, that accumulates around the organs, as well as gained weight compared to the control group that did not. To take this a step further, food labels are often inaccurate when it comes to measuring the amounts of calories found in specific food products. These formulas don't take into account how well foods are absorbed or the difference in calories if they're cooked or not, and how easily they are digested, and if we are able to even absorb those calories. It also doesn't account for the 50 centimeter variance in humans' intestinal tracts. So people who have longer intestinal tracts are able to extract more from food than those with shorter ones. Additionally, some food manufacturers claim certain foods contain more calories than they actually do. For example, some experts have found that almonds are overestimated to have 30% more calories than they actually do. And this is really disheartening when food manufacturers are legally allowed a margin of error of only 20%. Now, in terms of needed calories for men and women, these have changed recently. They've actually been increased. But even then, they're missing really key factors like age, height, weight, and activity levels. These are all key components to how many calories you might need on a day-to-day basis. Exercise alone also isn't going to help you lower weight if you're not willing to make the changes in the foods you're eating. And to take this a step further, there was a study done on over 12,000 routine runners that found some interesting results. The study tracked these runners' weekly distances ran along with their weight over a few years. And while they did find a correlation between overall leanness and the distance ran, they also found a much more disturbing trend. They actually found that all the runners, regardless of the distance they ran, were getting fatter over time. The authors of the study went as far as to say that if the runners added another 2.5 to almost 4 miles weekly to their running, they would be able to maintain a stable weight. They also came to the conclusion that you would have to end up running 60 miles a week eventually to maintain your weight instead of adding fat over time. And I don't know about you, but I have never come close to running 60 miles in a month versus a week. And I personally came across this issue myself. So when I entered chiropractic school, I was basically just as active, if not more so, than I was in college. And I still I didn't eat much different, but I still had many of the digestive issues and weight gain problems that I was having prior to going to school. And it wasn't until I changed really what I was eating without changing my physical activity habits that I started to see a real difference. In other words, I wasn't really changing the amount of food I was eating, I was simply changing what foods I was eating. And I'm sure I'm probably hitting a nerve with some of you guys, because if you've tried just using exercise to lose weight, you've realized that eventually you kind of hit this plateau and hit a wall and you're not making any more progress. And the reason for this is because our bodies are able to adapt over time to our caloric needs based on our activity level. So using exercise alone as a weight loss tool is simply not going to get you there, because again, caloric needs change, but our bodies change as well. And once we hit that plateau, we're going to be kind of stuck unless we address the elephant in the room, which is what we're eating in the first place. Interestingly enough, turns out our gut microbes have something to say with our ability to lose and gain weight in the long run. For instance, lack of diversity in our gut microbes is associated with things like weight gain, insulin resistance, diabetes, and even cancer. In fact, taking a look at our gut microbes is a better predictor of obesity than taking a look at all of our genes combined. Additionally, differences in gut microbes might account for why some people do well on low-fat diets versus high-fat diets, or account for a lot of the discrepancies you see in a lot of nutritional studies, because people are just so different when it comes to their gut microbiomes, and each of us, they're unique to us, similar to, say, a fingerprint. The real key here should be looking to optimize the diversity of our gut microbes and creating an environment that allows multiple different species to survive, and that's done by using a variety of different foods, especially prebiotic foods, things like, again, vegetables, nuts, seeds, fruits, things of that nature. Whole foods, mostly plant-based, are going to really give the bacteria, the good bacteria, the fuel they need to thrive and increase diversity. This is one of the major shortcomings of many of the very restrictive diets out there, because sometimes they cut out all, if not entire food groups. And this is a mistake, because it will alter our gut microbiome over time and leads to really poor health issues going forward. You can compare this to the difference than, say, our human ancestors less than 20,000 years ago, who were eating an estimated about 150 different ingredients on a weekly basis. That's the difference in diversity overall. I like to use the analogy of a garden and using the right fertilizer to allow certain plants and microbes to grow. So if we're using the right fertilizer, if we're getting the right foods, we'll allow those right species to thrive and, more importantly, become more diverse, which is associated with better health outcomes overall. In contrast, if we're not eating the right foods, it allows the weeds to kind of come in and take over and kill off more of those beneficial bacteria. So as we've seen on this kind of journey today, calories are out there, but they come with a lot of different caveats, and it's not as simple as calories in equals calories out. There are way too many biological differences between each of us that are not addressed when you're using such a simplistic, dated model. But unfortunately, until we come out with a better system, calories are going to be around to stay, and at least they provide us with a rough guide of where to get started. So they might not be completely useless, but they should not be the end-all be-all when you're looking to lose weight. Factors that are just as, if not more important than calories include things like food quality, hormones and enzymes released, and the health of our gut microbiome. And unless we're taking a more holistic view, using such a narrow-minded approach is just going to lead you going back to the drawing board in the beginning. And again, we're looking to not do that up front, especially here on this channel. So I hope you enjoyed the information from this video today. Again, if you did, please like and subscribe below. If you have any questions, comments, please leave them. I want to make this, again, more of an open dialogue, so I will get to answering any questions you will have. And until next time, take care, guys.